What's up, everybody? Dr. Nick here from Divine Elements, and I'm coming at you with some information on mindset. And I think this is an important way to filter our health journey. And how I like to break it down is 4 basic steps. So this first step is looking at an illness or a process that we're in, and we're moving into the first phase of our healing, and this is reversal. Reversal is like slowing the moving train. So if you imagine if you've got a train, bearing down the tracks, our brakes aren't working, what's one of the best ways to slow this train down? You got to offload the weight, right? Because as the train gets lighter, it's going to start to slow down. So how do we offload some of this weight? Well, we maybe get rid of the sugars, the alcohol, some of the medications or things that aren't serving us. Maybe there's relationships in our lives that are weighing us down. Maybe there's mindsets that we need to reframe for ourselves. There can be a lot of things in this reversal process, and it's really where we're looking at this chronic illness. Maybe it's which is digestive issues or headaches or fatigue or sleep issues or hormone problems or whatever the issue is, and it's starting to unpack what's going on for us. So we're looking at our diet, we're looking at maybe movement, we're looking at supplementation, we're looking at some of the things, the relationships in our lives and things like that. We're getting a little bit more observant of our surroundings and where can we lighten this load in our chronic illness. And so slowing and moving trains is going to take some time. You can't just do one thing today, nothing tomorrow, and expect there to be this massive change in our health. So slowing the moving train or reversal is step 1. Step 2 in this framework is where we're moving to prevention. What does prevention look like? Well, maybe you've run some lab work. You started to discover a little bit more about what's going on for you. Maybe you found out the minerals or vitamins or amino acids or things like that you're deficient in. Maybe you found out there's some toxicity burden. Maybe you found out that there's some food sensitivities or there's other things. You're getting a lot more specific, and maybe you're doing some self-experimentation with changing your diet, your exercise regimen. And we're focusing a little bit more on prevention. But with this process of prevention, we're looking at our genealogy. What came before us? Like, what are our parents dealing with? Our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, our brothers and sisters? What's showing up in that genetic pathway that could be actually activated within us? So we can get a little bit more specific with preventing very specific illnesses, again, that may be there in our genealogy. So that's prevention. Step 3 is optimization. So this could be the world of biohacking. This could be the world of using technology to advance our health forward. We could be getting a lot more strategic with keto or paleo or whatever our diet plan is. We're focusing a little bit more on optimization through supplementation. Maybe we're taking chunks of time to really focus on optimizing brain function or performance. And using both technology and supplementation and diet and exercise to really up level in these certain areas. And those are all they're all available to us, in this realm of optimization. And lastly is legacy. Legacy is where we're starting to realize that what we've created in ourselves, it's time to give it back. So it's time to teach our family, our friends, our community, our kids, and not just our health environment, but maybe our surroundings. We're starting to clean up what kind of cleaning products we use. Maybe we're starting to look at, what are some of the impacts and the choices that we're making with plastics and whatever else in our environment. And we're starting to look at the bigger picture of seeing my choices that I make now are impacting generations to come. So how can I be a better human and be more loving and gracious to our environment? So those are the 4 stages of what I see in this healing journey that we all have an opportunity to move into. And then along with this, I feel like we really need to develop a mindset of being deserving. So what does that look like? Well, what it doesn't look like is, wake up in the morning and just expecting health to show up on our doorstep. We don't have to do anything. We're just, wishing into being, and and it's not there, and we get disappointed. And so a way to work with this is start to understand there has to be a merging of changing our mindset around things, but then there has to be some action. So, it's not just choosing to feel good. That's really important, but it's also starting to line up our behaviors so they're supporting that mindset. And so then we're more deserving. So we're more likely to have things show up in our environment because we've taken action and mindset and these tools into a practice that now becomes part of our lifestyle. The difference between someone having success and someone not is really just about how consistent can someone be. And so that's how we can be deserving, right? It's like an athlete. They're not going to outperform someone without putting the years and hours of practice in. You know, they say 10,000 hours in order to master something. So, you know, in that kind of mindset, we're going to be deserving, we're going to have fulfillment. So there's this yogic philosophy that I love to look at too, that looks at how fulfillment, how things show up in our life. Well, first there needs to be order. There has to be some sort of structure or discipline for us to follow. You know, it's like if you're going to follow a certain type of diet, there's going to be a structure, an order, some way of doing something. And then you move into your lifestyle plan, your consistency, and that's where you start to find some harmony in this rhythm. You start to find some flow in this rhythm. You start to develop the lifestyle habits that are going to nurture that. And then lastly, what comes through this experience is fulfillment. So order, structure, discipline leads to this place of harmony and balance and consistency, which eventually leads to this fulfillment. So on that note, just to finish up, I got sick. I got a cold for the first time in years. Like it's been probably 6 years, I think, since I had a cold. And my first reaction was like, oh man, like this doesn't feel good. Why am I getting sick? I've been so good with my fasting, with supplementation, all that stuff. Well, we've had a crazy last 4 months. We moved different cities. We're doing a bunch of renos on our house. My wife and I just had our 10-year anniversary. I just turned 40. There's a lot of energy and a lot of stuff changing in our lives right now. And it's beautiful. It's all wonderful. And I've been staying up a little bit later, you know, connecting with friends and whatnot. And eventually I realized that, you know, I'm starting to get sick. This is a kind of a weird feeling. Now, the beauty in this is it allows for the appreciation of contrast. You know, when I'm in my experience of feeling good all the time, high energy, very, you know, positive and all that stuff, it feels great. But it also, like, you just kind of get used to it. That's just life. And so the contrast of life is so beautiful because it's in these moments where our immune system starts to get a little run down, we start to get a little sick, we go, oh, well, this is what being sick feels like. And so it's an interesting dance of being in both of these experiences, but being in a place of health for long enough that you don't really realize how low and lethargic and whatnot you feel. This morning when I woke up, I was feeling just very like exuberant and happy and cheerful and joyful and purposeful. I'm thinking of all the things that I want to create in my life, and with Sonia and my kids and in our clinic, and you know, all these wonderful feelings. And I had this awareness that, wow, like this is what my life actually usually feels like. I need to give myself a little more gratitude for having this feeling, because this is really beautiful. And we can get stuck in this experience of things just going the way that we expect them to go and not really being in that deserving mindset, not really being that grateful mindset. So it's funny how even in health, we have to spend time in just reconnecting with that contrast of life. So that's it for today. Hope you guys are doing great. More to come. We got lots of amazing changes happening in our clinic that we can't wait to share with all of you. So lots of love to all of you.